I'm like a son, right? And I've been with all of y'all before. I've been in your dreams, I've been in your life, I've walked up to you when you was a child, I've visited you in different places at different times, and all it is like a harvest. A harvest. It's a harvest process. It's now coming. And people are coming from all over the world to see that person. Oh, there's a movie called Stand. Right? I'm Abigail. And there's another group of people gathered in Las Vegas. And they're waging war, preparing to wage war against us. That means the battle of good, evil. And we won before. And we will win again. Because good wins. You follow?
From Stephen King, the master of suspense, comes his all-time bestseller.
Containment breach! We've had a major containment breach! Use the manual gate override, Campion! Do it now! Campion! You'll have to close the gate!
A deadly virus released by a government mistake. A frantic military willing to stop at nothing to cover up the terrible truth.
The so-called super flu does not exist.
What did you do? What did you people do?
As the plague sweeps out of control, a nation erupts, society crumbles, the end is here.
The monster's here! The doctor's here!
Now, all that remains, the demon, the prophet, and those chosen to survive. Drawn by dreams of an old woman,
Be coming along to see me, won't you, Larry?
the chosen ones stream to Colorado to find their dreams are real.
Help us to be true, dear Lord. Help us to stand.
In Las Vegas, an army of darkness assembles, controlled by dreams of their leader, Randall Flagg.
Go for it.
Do it, Harold! Do it!
Time to make your stand.
The ultimate stand against the forces of evil. Molly Ringwald, Rob Lowe, Laura San Giacomo, Gary Sinise, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ruby Dee, and Jamie Sheridan. Stephen King's The Stand.
In the Bible, there was a rich man named Nabal who was known for being rude. Nabal had a large flock of sheep and goats, and a wife named Abigail. Unlike Nabal, Abigail was known for being sweet.
Hi.
Not far from where Nabal and Abigail lived, King David and his men were camping. David needed some supplies, so he gathered some of his men to send to Nabal's house. He told them to greet Nabal with kind words, and Nabal should return their kindness. So the men went to Nabal, greeted him with nice words, and asked him for some supplies. But Nabal was nasty. Go away! He shouted insults at them and told them to leave. The men returned to David and told him the things that Nabal had said. David was furious. He told his men to grab their swords so they could get even with Nabal. Meanwhile, back at Nabal's farm, Abigail heard how poorly Nabal treated David's men.
Oh, no.
She knew her husband's bad attitude could mean trouble for them, so she gathered food and supplies and loaded them up on donkeys. David and his men stormed through the desert, ready to get revenge on Nabal. Suddenly, they saw someone approaching. It was Abigail. Abigail bowed down to King David and begged him not to hurt Nabal. She asked David to stop and think before he acted out of his anger. David took a deep breath and thanked God for sending Abigail to calm him down. David accepted Abigail's gift of supplies and went home, instead of doing something he might regret later on.
Hooray!
Because Abigail asked him to think about forgiveness, David chose peace instead of anger.